Am I the idiot for sleeping with someone to spite their mother? I, male 33, work at a college. One of the higher-ups, let's call her mommy, has hated me since I was a student at that same college, and she keeps trying to find a reason to fire me. She constantly interrupts my classes, talks poop about me to her students during her own classes, talks trash about my exams, my teaching abilities, the success of my students, and worst of all, she lies about me to the chair of the department. In fact, it's been so bad that I've been applying to positions elsewhere, and I have a chance of getting a job at another college in a few months. Because I freaking hate waking up every morning knowing I'll have to deal with her. I also recently met her son, male 30, Sonny, through Grindr. We had several casual meetings, and by our third date, he shared just enough of his life for me to realize who he was. In fact, he started telling me about mommy, and apparently, he hates mommy more than mommy hates me. So, I felt encouraged to tell him I know her, and we spent hours talking about all the ways she's treated us like garbage. The worst thing she did was kick him out when he was 17 for being gay, and then beg him to come back and pretend she loves him, while making his life hell, because his grandmother threatened to cut her out of the will. The thing is, Sonny and I kind of get along, but we're not really each other's type. We both agreed on that. Like, the sex is good, but the rest is meh, we have nothing in common. However, Sonny had this idea to pretend we're an actual couple just to spite her, and I like it. Sonny's birthday is coming up and he is having a barbecue with his friends and family. So he wants me to come so that we can giggle and hold hands and kiss in front of mommy. I told my girlfriends about it like, haha, listen to this funny story. And they were all appalled. They said I was an idiot, a pervert, petty. I agree that I am petty, and that I have no moral compass. They said they'd be very, very, very disappointed in me if I went through with it, and to think of the rest of his family. They've also been ignoring me on Messenger since last night, lol. I honestly don't think it's that serious. I don't expect mommy to get a heart attack and drop dead or something. I only expect her to fume and feel humiliated while not being able to react in front of grandma. Am I the idiot because of it? Edit. One of my girlfriends finally replied to my messages, and I very clearly explained to her that both Sonny and I are in on it, and that mommy deserves even worse things. She said she misunderstood and thought I was using him, and her interpretation was confirmed by the other two girls freaking out and not letting me finish. Also, apparently, one of the other two called me all kinds of names behind my back, gay slurs mostly, because she was bothered by me having sex with someone I'm not in a relationship with, lol. If she heard what kind of stuff I did when I was younger, she'd have to wash her ears with holy water. Anyway, the friend that reached out thinks I'm not the idiot, so yay for that. Now for a few comments before the update. Not the idiot. You didn't know when you first hooked up with Sonny, and also he's compliant in the scheme. Seems 100% good kosher revenge light. Comment 2, you're the idiot. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. You absolutely should do it. So I guess I'm also an idiot for encouraging it. Sometimes being the idiot is the right thing to do. Now for the update. All my friends but one are out of my life. She stayed friends with them and found out they don't have a problem with this incident as much as they do with me being on Grindr. Apparently they find it gross that I have casual sex. The job I had lined up will happen. I had a call with them. They said they were considering 3 people, but I am the most qualified, and they need to sort out some paperwork before they officially offer me the job. It's abroad. Before the party, I met Sonny's friends to solidify the idea that we're a couple. We had drinks and watched God at his place. At the party, I came with a big gift. I embraced and kissed Sonny, and he introduced me to everyone as his boyfriend. To mommy, he said, "Mom, you already know OP from work, right? We're dating." She was quite obviously angry as frick and very badly pretended not to be. I smiled at her and shook her hand, and she just dumped her food and left us. Sonny's other family was very nice. Granny arrived and she was super excited to meet me. She asked if I met mommy. I told her I already knew her from work, so she asked what she was like there, and I said something diplomatic like, "There are good times and bad times, just like at any job." I don't remember my exact words. She took my hand and told me I seemed like a nice person and that she's happy Sonny has me. Mommy was in the kitchen the rest of the party, avoiding everyone. I barely saw her again before she left. At work, she hasn't spoken to me. She usually starts pestering me with her bullshit on Monday at 8 a.m., but she hasn't said a single word to me nor has she looked at me. Several people noticed and asked me what was going on, and I said I don't know. Back to Saturday, after the party, I stayed to talk to Sunny alone. He didn't seem to be in a good mood, and I assumed it was because he expected a worse reaction from Mommy. But then he said he had something to tell me. Apparently, our meeting on Grindr wasn't a coincidence. He came across my profile by accident, but he recognized me from the staff photos from our college's website. He said he was very sorry. He didn't expect me to go with his plan at all. He initially just wanted to rant about his mother to someone who might understand. I guess I'm mostly okay with that, but I wish he had told me sooner. But then he also said he has feelings for me. We spend so much time together, we text all the time, we have dinners, we sleep over, and it just happened. I get it. I'm not exactly cold as ice when it comes to him either, but still, I will be moving away in August. And there's the whole Mommy situation. So yeah, I got not the idiot the last time, but I'm starting to feel like this is something I really didn't need in my life. Comment 1. Not the idiot, you sound like a very nice guy and the mother sounds like she's still a terrible person. Granny sounds lovely. I do feel bad for Sunny though. Does he know you're moving away for work? Also, you're better without such judgmental friends. They sound like they've never heard of Bumble or Tinder. Comment 2. You're the idiot. And I'm not just talking about the situation with Sunny's mother. You've displayed a disturbing lack of empathy and respect for others throughout this entire post. Your goal was to humiliate and spite someone, even if they have treated you poorly. Instead of taking the high road and focusing on your own success and happiness, you decided to stoop to their level and engage in a petty game of revenge. Not only that, but your casual attitude towards sex and relationships is concerning. It's not about whether your friends find it gross that you have casual sex, it's about the fact that you seem to use people for your own amusement without considering their feelings or the potential consequences. This kind of behavior is disrespectful and harmful. Now, for the next story. Would I be the idiot if I give my stepson the birthday gift I bought for him despite his mother telling me not to? My husband Joe and I have been married for a few years. He has a teenage son, Jack, with his ex-wife Kim. Joe and I have a great relationship with Jack, who lives with us half of the time, and we are civil with Kim. For a couple of years now, Jack has been into a sport that I am also into, and last year he decided to train in that sport seriously. He has been doing very well, so as a reward and to encourage him further, I decided that for his birthday this month, I would buy him an important equipment used in our sport. He has always wanted to own one himself, and if things go well it will be with him for the next 10 years, so I know he will be very happy with it. Yesterday Kim called me and told me what gift she will be getting Jack. We do this now to avoid getting him the same gift, which has happened before. I told her that I got Jack the equipment for our sport. She was quiet for a while and then asked me if I could get another gift for Jack's birthday and just give him the equipment in October. Kim said that she knows Jack will absolutely love my gift, so if he gets my gift and her gift at the same time, her gift will be upstaged by mine and all of Jack's attention will be on my gift. She said she has been saving for Jack's gift for a while, so she would like to see him be happy and thrilled about her gift. And that is not likely to happen if Jack receives our gifts at the same time. I understand where Kim is coming from, but to me it doesn't seem right to treat giving gifts to Jack as a competition for his attention or affections that we have to resort to taking turns. Why can't we both give him our gifts and make him as happy as he could be on his birthday, a day that is supposed to be about him and not about us? Now for a few comments before the update. No idiots here. I'll probably be downvoted for this, but I can actually understand her feeling a bit heartbroken that she's scrimped and saved for a gift, and now his stepmoms bought him something that sounds fairly expensive, and so impressive that it will leave hers in the dust. I don't think you need to wait until October, and you certainly don't have to get him another gift. But just to compromise, could you tell your stepson that you'll give it to him the day after his birthday? Then the original poster responded with, "Thanks." One of Joe's favorite sayings is that sometimes it's better to be kind than to be right, and reading your answer, I think this is one of those times. Another commenter suggested waiting a week so Jack has a weekend to enjoy Kim's gift. Comment 2. No idiots here. Yes, the rational thing would be to want for him to, as you say, be as happy as he can be on his birthday. But people aren't always rational, and that's okay. Kim is probably right. Jack will be way more excited about your gift than hers. And I can totally understand feeling a bit sad about that when you're his mother, and you've been saving up for a gift for a long time, and was looking forward to him being excited about it. She wasn't being an idiot about her request, and I don't think it's her intention to treat gift giving as a competition for his attention or affections. Now for the update. Jack celebrated his birthday in September, and as many of you suggested, I told him that I'm sorry, but my gift for him was shipped late and would be arriving in 2 weeks. That way it didn't look like Kim made me do it, and the two of them had time to enjoy Kim's gift. Kim thanked me for understanding her situation and said she is grateful that I was gracious about her request even though we don't have the best relationship. It's flattering to read that so many of you think that Joe and I are good people. But of course we aren't perfect, and it took a lot of time for us to be in a civil place with Kim. It was humbling for Kim to ask me what she did, and it also took a lot for me to let her have it. Hopefully this is the beginning of a better relationship for the three of us. For those who are asking, I didn't put a lot of specific details in my post because I wanted to minimize the risk of being identified by someone I know in real life who might also be participating in this forum. But since a commenter in my original post already figured it out, yes, I bought Jack a horse. My family has a horse farm, so where can you hide a horse for 2 weeks is thankfully not a problem. Jack already met his new partner last week, and he is very happy with him. Thank you all for your comments, and I wish everyone the best. Comment 1. You sure did undersell your gift in your first post. It reads like you're talking about a hockey stick or something, not a freaking horse. Comment 2. Damn. You bought him a horse? Yes, that is a gift to upstage all others. I'm glad you held off giving it to him for a few weeks. Refusing would have been petty and small. Now, for the next story. Would I be the idiot if I sent my mother-in-law's racist rants and threats to her boss? This has been an ongoing incident I posted before about my racist in-laws and my late husband's ashes. I am female 28, Vietnamese Canadian. Some background. My husband died from a sudden illness not too long ago. His family was very abusive to him while he grew up and had cut them out of his life from before we even met. When he passed away, they refused to even attend the funeral but showed up to tell me to leave and be racist to me. They have been threatening me for his ashes. It was my husband's wish that I keep them. They have been saying terrible things about me to my friends and mutual FB friends, mostly racist, ranting and threatening to get a private investigator to find where my house is and steal the ashes. They have made lots of negative comments and posts about me and my ethnicity. I have screenshots from friends. They send me lots of private messages from multiple accounts screaming at me and just being horrible. Well, his biological mother works as a records keeper in a hospital, a very well-known children's hospital where they take things like this very serious. I think I want to send all this stuff to the hospital boss and cost her job, but I don't know if that would be the appropriate approach, and well, I would like to know, would I be an idiot for doing it? Thank you in advance, please be kind. I took lots of time to make sure my grammar and spelling was understandable. English is my second language now. For a few comments before the update. Not the idiot. Sick kids hospital, I assume? Do it. Seriously, do it. I am typically against these things, but they are threatening to take your husband's ashes. They even want to find out where you live. Exposing them will be a very good way to stop them. And also, despite what people say, revenge does feel good sometimes, and in this case you are 100% justified. Do it. Comment 2, not the idiot. Employers need to know this kind of thing in order to take action. She should face the consequences of her racism, and maybe she'll learn something from it. Hopefully. There's already an issue of discrimination in the medical field, so, worst case scenario, you're just taking care of a bad apple. And be honest with her boss, just tell them the full story and I'm sure they'll understand. Now for the update. Well, I posted last week asking if I would be an idiot if I forwarded all the racist things and threatening emails my late husband's mother was sending me. After a lot of great comments and advice, I decided to do it. Right now she has been suspended and I was able to get a restraining order from here. Now, from what I was told, there is an investigation going on about her at her work. She was using a work computer to do a lot of the harassment. Her boss and the hospital administration basically made it so easy to get a restraining and no contact order against her. Update 2. My late husband's mother was indeed suspended from her job at the hospital. An internal investigation was launched and, as it turns out, she was using her work computer for a significant portion of the harassment against me. This not only violated the hospital's policies, but it also provided the evidence needed to demonstrate her wrongdoing. Due to the ongoing investigation, she was let go from her position at the hospital. They were very clear that they would not tolerate such behavior, and her actions were in stark contrast to their mission and values. This was a relief, as I felt that her toxic behavior was not only affecting me but also could potentially harm the people she worked with or the patients she interacted with. I've also managed to obtain a restraining order against her. The hospital's administration was very supportive in this regard. They provided all the necessary information and documents which made the process of getting a restraining and no contact order relatively easy and straightforward. As for the extended family, the private messages and threats have drastically reduced. I believe my actions have sent a clear message that I will not tolerate racism, harassment, or any threat to my safety. I've also been working on my healing and recovery. It's not an easy journey, but every day is a step towards finding peace and moving forward. Thank you all for standing with me during this difficult time. It means more than I can express. Comment 1. You did the right thing. A racist working at a children's hospital likely means some of the children wouldn't get the appropriate care if they are of a race/ethnicity the racist hates. Comment 2. I would make sure you have some sort of camera like a ring system or anything to record if they truly do try to invade your house. Also, I agree with another comment to create a possible decoy urn just in case. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to drop a like. It really helps the channel grow. See you next time. Am I the idiot for handling the sleepover planning? My husband is a ghostwriter and a stay-at-home parent of 2 kids, ages 6 and 9. While I am a working parent, my work can be very exhausting. I work from 9 to 6. So most of the time, my husband is the go-to parent when they need something or want to do something. My husband is very outdoors and active, so he always takes them somewhere, like hiking, biking, skating, etc. He is a very big believer in investing in hobbies. And he's just a creative person, I guess. My daughter is turning 10 soon, and when we were eating dinner together, my husband told me that she knew what she was doing for her birthday. I asked what she was doing, and she said she and her dad were planning a sleepover and they were going to meet after school tomorrow. My husband showed me a TikTok of something really fancy. What she had in mind, it seems like a really big project. I feel like there is a big gap between me and my daughter, and I thought this opportunity would be perfect to try and get closer. I try to talk to her, but she always seems uncomfortable or awkward. I know my husband is her favorite parent, but I just want us to be closer. So I told her, why don't I assist her with the project? Because Daddy is so preoccupied with his book. She asked her dad if he was busy, and my husband went along with it. She got kind of sad and said that she wanted Daddy to help her, and that I didn't know what she liked. I told her I could be just as good as her dad. She said okay, but she sounded unsure, which I believe was due to the fact that her father is usually in charge of these events. After dinner, my husband told me he didn't like how I made a decision like that without consulting him beforehand, and that he wasn't sure whether I could handle a 10-year-old party, and that this is not even what our daughter wants. I told him my thought process behind wanting to plan it, and that I was sure this was something I could do. Everyone seems to be a bit awkward about me taking over the planning. Am I wrong here? Now for a few comments before the update. You're the idiot. You failed parenting 101. You changed the plan without consulting your fellow parents. Luckily your husband caught on and supported your plan, but you were completely the idiot for putting him in that position. I hope you succeed and plan a great birthday party. But if it blows up on you, that's on you for not consulting your husband before doing this. Comment 2. You're the idiot. Your intentions are in the right place by wanting to connect with your daughter. If you come in, take over the planning, and it turns out the party you planned does not reflect her interests, likes, etc., it's going to make her feel like you don't even know her. She's visibly upset that you are taking over the planning. Her and Dad know what kind of party she wants to have. The best thing you could do is to let her and Dad take the lead, be a part of it, and use the opportunity to get to know her likes, dislikes, hang out with her, and plan a party that will make her happy. Now for the update. The sleepover was last weekend, and it went great. But my husband ended up taking over. I took my daughter to Target to buy decorations, but she was being too vague or just putting her shoulders up whenever I asked her a question, so during dinner, I suggested that my husband follow us. When he came, she gave us a much clearer picture, and when we decorated, I never did anything right. I put in a lot of effort at work. I was so dedicated to becoming their partner that I kind of didn't involve myself in their lives. Now I am worried it will change. I feel like a nuisance anytime I am around my daughter, who just keeps quiet. I know she is very shy, but as her mother, she should feel comfortable around me. I am trying to make more attempts to be more involved, like helping with homework and making dinner, but after every attempt all I hear is, "Daddy does it this way." Or, "Can Daddy do it for me? I don't like my scrambled eggs like this." Or, "I want Daddy to teach me." He is better. I have just been feeling like a failure as a mother, which is not to say I won't stop trying. I have also come to realize that I was a bit passive-aggressive and jealous towards my husband because of his closeness to the kids, and after a long chat with him, we were able to resolve some issues that I didn't even know I had. Thanks for the advice. I have taken it to heart. Comment 1. Here's the problem. She should. You seem to know how your daughter should be or act, which means how you think she should, or how you would like her to act or behave. Your daughter is not you. She is a person in her own right. Comment 2. Not the idiot. I can't believe the audacity of your husband and some of the commenters here. It's clear that you had good intentions in wanting to plan your daughter's birthday sleepover. As a working parent, it's important for you to find opportunities to bond with your children and create lasting memories. Your husband's reaction was completely unwarranted. Instead of supporting your efforts to connect with your daughter, he made it all about himself and his own insecurities. It's concerning that he couldn't handle the idea of you taking charge for once and felt the need to undermine your role as a parent. Now, for the next story. Am I the idiot for telling my BF that I don't think it's appropriate to come on the family vacation? My female 21 boyfriend, male 23, let's call him Charlie. Around a month ago, my mom mentioned a family vacation while on a call with me. Charlie and I have been together for about 1 year. He has still not met my mom's side of the family, only my dad's. My mom, female 42, lives in my home country together with my stepdad, male 50, and my stepbrother, male 24, lives there too but not in our hometown. Because of this, he hasn't had the chance to meet them yet. Yesterday I mentioned it to my best friend, female 21, with whom I have been friends with for 17 years now. I was on the phone with her. She is still in the city we grew up in and goes to university there because she often sees my parents. My mom invited her like any other vacation, and this time she has decided to come. The trip is fully paid for by my stepdad and my mom. My stepbrother will be bringing his fiancée, female 21 too. Charlie was in the room while I was on the call and asked me what he should pack. I looked at him confused and asked if he was going somewhere. He said that he needs to know what to pack for the trip. I laughed and thought he was joking since I never said he was coming. When I realized he was serious, I sat him down and told him that he isn't gonna be able to come and there was no reservation for him, plus it will be very inappropriate to invite him over, knowing that this is a family trip and it will make bad impression like he is trying to come just BC. It's gonna be free. They have never met him and there aren't any rooms left. He doesn't have a passport, and other reasons that I tried explaining. He flipped out on me telling me that I'm a witch and that I'm probably cheating on him, and that's why he is not invited. I tried explaining but he left the apartment. He hasn't returned since yesterday, and at 4 a.m. I have to leave for the airport. I'm worried sick. I called many times and texted but he isn't responding. So am I the idiot? Now for a few comments before the update. Info. Any idea why he thought he was invited? Was there a miscommunication that could have been cleared up? Your logic about him not having met them is pretty weird given they live abroad. But if he just assumed he was going because he's dating you and entitled to a vacation, then you're not the idiot. Then the original poster responded with, I think it was exactly that he is dating me and thought he was coming. BC of that comment too, not the idiot. I don't know why he assumed he was coming in the first place, especially when you never even implied it. Shows how entitled he is as a person. I understand that you're worried, but you may have dodged a bullet. OP. Being in a relationship with someone who's that entitled is only gonna mess with your mental health. I'm sorry you're going through this. Now for the update. When I was leaving the apartment 4 days ago, I left a key to my neighbor/friend. Yesterday she called me to inform me that my BF stuff is missing and my writing studio and my manga collection are destroyed. Some of my savings are stolen, and yesterday he tried to empty my bank account but failed miserably. 5,000 are apparently missing from the drawer of my nightstand and my BF is nowhere to be found. Lucky me, my stepbrother's fiance's mother is a lawyer. Mom's side of the family, stepbrother, his fiancée, mom, stepdad, grandmas and grandpas etc. are trying to calm me down and get me away from the situation as much as possible. I thought this was a minor problem in the beginning, but here we are. Dad's side of the family is telling me to drop the charges and that I'm overreacting. Yes, I did place charges. I will have to deal with it further when I get back, but police are already on the hunt for him. Some people said I was the idiot. BC. This would be the perfect time to meet my family. But in this case it just seemed like a direct. I want a free trip. To me, somebody pointed out we have communication problems. Yes, we do. I didn't really want to mention this, but I'm on the autism spectrum, so it's pretty normal in a way. He knew 2.5 weeks before I went on the trip, and I made it clear he wouldn't be coming. Update 2. To the 5 people who told me I'm sick and not right in the head, massage me again that I'm in the wrong when you have to fix over 25k damage, and I dare you to not press charges today. I got back to my apartment, and the damages were much more serious than they were described to me. The moment I opened the door, I stepped on crushed up glass. The mirror next to the door was broken and crushed. My shoe pairs were ripped apart. The shoe rack was in the living room, and a cupboard door was out of the windies, literally. The windows were shattered. The cupboards were broken, the sink was broken and running. I barely turned it off. The TV was broken on the ground, and there were what looked like holes in the wall that were, I think, made by the coat hanger that was barely together next to the fallen on the ground TV. The bathroom sink was cracked, and the bathtub curtain was on the ground, and the metal bar it was attached to was detached on one side. My closet was trashed, and the clothes in it, and shoes were ripped and torn. Charges are proceeding faster, not that I'm back. Comment 1. I'm so sorry this happened. Has your ex been apprehended yet? Then the original poster responded with, yes, before I got back to my apartment I went to the police station and he was there, and they told me to get the cameras in my apartment. Right now I am in a taxi with the cards from the cameras. Comment 2. Please file charges and do not drop them. This is a scary situation. I'm so sorry this happened to you. Don't feel bad for anything moving forward. If he goes to jail, that's on him. I wish you well and hope you can recuperate from this trauma and are able to trust again. Now, for the next story. Am I the idiot for telling my 7-year-old the truth about his mother? When I was younger, I had a casual sexual relationship with a woman, Sally, I met at a restaurant. We had sex more than 5 times but less than 10 times. I texted Sally on a Friday night, which is when we normally hooked up, asking if she wanted to meet up, and she told me to lose her number. I did, and later found out she was pregnant. I contacted her again to see if the child was mine. She told me it wasn't and that she would be getting an abortion anyway, and once again told me I needed to lose her number. I moved on. One day I got a message from Sally's mother. She accused me of abandoning her daughter and my son. I told her I had no clue what she was talking about. She informed me that she had been taking care of Sally's son since he was 4 months old because Sally had a drug issue. At this point he was 1.5 years old and she, Grandma, was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. She said she couldn't do it alone anymore. I ended up getting a DNA test and found out I was the dad. His grandmother passed away shortly after I took custody. He's 7 now, 8 in August, and has been asking about his mom a lot lately. I have always told him that his mom loved him, but wasn't able to take care of him. He has accepted that answer until recently and wanted more answers. I decided to be honest. He asked why he had to live with his grandmother before living with me. I told him, your mom and I weren't talking when she was pregnant with you. I didn't know she had you until your grandmother told me. After that I did everything I could to get you. He asked if he would ever be able to see his mom again. I said, I don't know. I don't even know where she is. She has a sickness called addiction. Sometimes when people are sick like that they make decisions that no one understands. That doesn't mean she doesn't love you though. He cried a little and said he hopes his mom gets better. I was gutted and called my mom. She said I shared way too much and hurt him. She said I should have shared much less and stuck with it. She couldn't take care of you. Lying even though he was asking for more. Edit. Thank you to everyone who commented, even those who said I was an idiot for the explanation. All perspectives were read and considered. I couldn't and can't respond to every post, but trust that I have read them. This happened yesterday and he seemed okay today. He didn't say anything about his mother, and I am not going to push it. I have always let him lead these conversations. I think I am going to look into therapy and/or support groups for children of parents battling addiction. I will also be looking into resources for myself to help me navigate all of these new situations as they arise. I have no experience with kids other than my own, so I may be overestimating my son's ability to understand things, and maybe someone can help me work on that. I'm honestly not even sure if his mom is alive. Last I heard she was, but that was a while ago. We have a lot to navigate, and I could use some help from a professional, so I will be looking into that. Seriously, thanks for all of your suggestions, stories, and comments. It means a lot. Now for a few comments before the update. Not the idiot. If you lied to him, He would have been upset with you later on when he found out the truth. You described it in an age-appropriate manner. Comment 2. Not the idiot. You didn't volunteer the information out of the blue. Your son has been asking children. Asking questions about a topic is a big indication they're ready for the information, though the info should be expressed in an age-appropriate way, which you did, and you gave him the facts without going into too much detail and without making his mother sound like a monster. Your mom sounds like a typical grandma and wanting to protect your son from pain, but in this case he needed his questions answered. Now for the update. I was overwhelmed by the amount of replies. I did get a lot of people calling it a validation post. I didn't mean for it to be, but it was nice to see so many people say that I wasn't the idiot. It gave me some more confidence in my parenting. I don't know much about kids or parenting and am kind of learning on the fly here. Seeing his and my mom's reactions made me think I ruined my son's innocence. I have decided to get some parenting counseling for myself to help me navigate different challenges. For my son, I talked to him about joining a group for kids who have parents that struggle with addiction. We have a center here that does a weekly group session for kids. They separate it by grade, so my son will be with about 10 kids around his age dealing with the same thing. The coordinator said the group has everyone from kids who have never met their drug-addicted parent to kids who see their drug-addicted parent every day to kids who have lost parents to addiction. My son is very interested, and I am glad he'll be able to see that he isn't the only kid dealing with this. Thanks again to everyone who commented. I still don't know if I am doing the right thing, but I am trying my hardest to raise a strong, happy, and healthy kid. I hope his mom gets to see him one day. Comment 1. Oh, this is nice. That group sounds amazing. I hope he's able to get a better understanding of things through their help. I'm glad to hear you are looking into getting some help with this too. Addiction is definitely a community problem. It affects way more than just the user themselves. Hopefully she can find her way too. Comment 2. I don't know if you'll find this helpful at all, OP, but I have a story about how much I appreciated my parents' honesty. My brother was way into Nirvana back in the day and listened to their music all the time. Then Kurt Cobain killed himself. I was told guns were dangerous, so I assumed it was some kind of accident, but my brother said it wasn't. At the time I was like, why would someone shoot themselves on purpose? So I asked my mom. I realized way later how heavy a question this was. Mom, brother told me Kurt Cobain shot himself on purpose. That makes no sense. Why would he do that? She held me close and said, well, sometimes people feel so sad that they can't imagine being happy ever again. Some of them feel so desperate that they try to end their pain forever. To this day I admire how honest she is with this kind of thing. If you need to vent, OP, I'm here for you. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to drop a like. It really helps the channel grow. See you next time. Am I the idiot for banning my husband's female friend from our house? I, female 27, have been married to my husband, 32, male, for 3 years and haven't been dating for a little over 5 years. My husband has this friend, 31, female, Mary. They've known each other since they were in high school, and she's considered one of the boys, if you may. That basically means she's always invited to all the fishing trips and stuff, which I don't mind at all. I trust my husband. Well, my problems with Mary started when she first found out I'm half Romanian. It started kinda innocently, with her asking me to say certain words, teach her some insults, etc., which didn't necessarily bother me, but it usually put me on the spot whenever we were out with my husband's group of friends. It only escalated to her Googling stuff about Romania and asking me, are you a vampire? Do you bite your husband by the neck? To are you a gypsy? I bet you've got some of that gypsy blood in you, which is just blatantly racist. Last week, me and my husband organized a mini barbecue with our friends, and Mary was invited by my husband despite me telling him she makes me uncomfortable. He said he had talked to her about her remarks and she's been understanding, so it's unlikely she'll say something this time. It was midnight and there were about 4 of us left, and I accidentally spilled some red wine on Mary's jeans when I tripped over a carpet. All hell broke loose. Mary started saying that I'm a witch and I'm trying to ruin her life, and this whole thing is part of my ritual, and I'm just an immigrant gypsy trying to ruin my husband's life, and I'd poisoned my husband against her. I started crying and profusely apologized. When she wouldn't drop it, I kicked her out and banned her from ever coming to my house again. Am I the idiot for doing this? My husband insists that Mary was just drunk and talking nonsense, and he would talk to her. He also told me I'm way too sensitive about my heritage, and I'm an a-hole for banning her. Mary has since given me a half-hearted apology, but I'm still not okay with her. Edit. I guess this is the update some of you wanted. Sorry I'm still a mess and how coherent I am. We've talked. He admitted to being in and out of an affair with Mary in the first 2 years of our relationship, and she wanted to win him back, I guess. I called my mom to come help me pack some stuff and I'm out. That's it. Mary can have him. I've been gaslit for years and it took a Reddit post to realize. Oh, the irony. Thank you, Reddit. Edit 2 and probably the last one for a period of time. A lot of people seem suspicious of Mary and my husband's friendship/relationship, etc., and have asked if I ever suspected anything. No, I didn't. Me and my husband had, or I thought we had, a very strong relationship, based on communication and honesty. Guess it only applied to me. Also, Mary is very close with all the boys in the said friendship group. The other wives raised concerns in the past, but they've all been shut down by the boys in the group or by Mary herself. I guess I always respected their friendship group because they were very close for so long, and it felt unfair to change that because of me. As far as I'm aware, the other wives feel the same, plus Mary has been in a LD relationship for about 2 years and always claimed she's focusing on her career, she's too busy, etc., so none of us ever saw her as a potential threat. But now it just makes me think there could be more to this story. But I'm tired. As of right now, I am just exhausted. My Romanian witch blood won't let me live until I find out the whole truth, but I need time. Now for a few comments before the update. Not the idiot. I think your husband needs to reevaluate the fact that he'd be friends with someone that's so disrespectful to his own wife. Comment 2. Not the idiot. She's being racist, and your husband should be standing up for you. Maybe down the line, if her behavior improves and you forgive her, you could consider rescinding the ban. But unless that happens, you're doing a reasonable thing, and he should be in your corner on this one. Now for the update. Hey guys, it's me, the witch. I thought I'd update you because some interesting stuff happened since my post. Me and my husband, we have talked a lot, but the subject of Mary always seems to be a danger zone. He told me he isn't prepared to truly talk to me about Mary. We have tried to mend the relationship, but after a few therapy sessions, I realized I carry way too much resentment towards my ex for any kind of relationship to work. Since my ex was shutting me out, I decided to speak to Mary, as I found out through the grapevine that she wanted to tell her part of the story. Mary admitted she went through some situationships, by her description, with my ex and a couple of his other friends. The issue runs deeper though. When confronted as to why exactly she wanted me out so badly, Mary confessed that she actually got pregnant in high school, but she either doesn't know who the father is or didn't want to say it outright. I can't know for sure, but it's supposedly one of the guys in my ex's group of friends. I guess the most likely option is that the father is my ex, and she didn't deny it. The child in question was put up for adoption and apparently found Mary as is her biological mother a few months prior to the wine incident, which caused her to mourn the family she had to give up on in high school and sent her on a downright spiral of depression and anxiety, and made me the sole recipient of her hate, because I was the only obstacle in her way of her happy ending. By my ex's account, he had no idea Mary was pregnant in high school because she told everyone she was studying abroad for a few months, and no one saw her or knew what was happening. On to the witch part of the issue. Mary said she went through a phase where she was hanging out with self-proclaimed witches during high school to recover from the pain caused by having to give up her child, the PPD, etc. The witches gave her all sorts of ointments and then all kinds of readings about the child's future, etc. Turns out, the witches were a fraud, which sort of gave her the firepower to hate me even more and possibly fueled her fantasy. I'm honestly not sure how much of it is true, but here we are. In light of everything I discovered, I have to admit I do feel sorry for Mary. After seeing her perspective and talking with her, I can understand where she's coming from, but ultimately I am not her friend and the situation is none of my business, at least not after it's been hidden from me all this time. Plus, her being dealt a bad hand does not mean she has to take everyone down with her. I haven't been in contact with Mary and my ex since the divorce finalized in February 2021. I also did not keep in contact with my ex-friends' wives longer term. I appreciated the support, but it seems like my situation triggered quite a few arguments and relationship problems, and everyone sort of agreed to keep to themselves. Comment 1. What a steaming pile of hot garbage. I'm impressed with how gracious you could be to Mary, who didn't deserve it. I'm also impressed that you put so much effort into your marriage before realizing that it was truly over. You handled this with style and grace, and I wish you the very best. Comment 2. You're the idiot. Wow, you are truly a mess. It's clear that you thrive on drama and revel in playing the victim. You completely overreacted by banning Mary from your house just because she made a few harmless jokes and asked some questions about your heritage. It's not racist, it's just curiosity. You need to lighten up and stop being so sensitive. And now, you're trying to act all understanding and sympathetic towards Mary after finding out about her past. So what if she had some situationships with your ex and his friends? That's none of your business, and it certainly doesn't justify your behavior towards her. You're just using her past as an excuse to continue playing the victim and garner sympathy from others. Now, for the next story. Am I the idiot for not sharing my daughter's university fund with my stepson? My husband and I are a couple in our 40s. We've been married for 10 years now. We both have 17-year-old children. He has a son with his ex-wife and me a daughter from my husband who passed. When we married, we chose to keep a portion of our finances separate due to both having children already, previous real estate investments, and he having expenses like alimony and child support payments. We do combine our incomes for our mortgage and household expenses, our retirement, major purchases, etc. The college funds we have set up for our children have always been part of our separate finances, and as a result neither one of us have had terribly in-depth discussions with the other regarding the amount put into each child's fund. We do discuss what goes into them regarding tax returns, gifts from relatives, etc. I never expected both children's funds to be penny for a penny equal, but I did expect them to be closer than what I recently discovered. Both children have now applied to and both been accepted to university as it's their senior year. Now that a majority of scholarships are in, tuition and housing etc. are more concrete for each of their school options, we've started the specifics of the budget conversations. My daughter's college/graduation fund is worth roughly $150,000 while my stepson has approximately a $15,000 amount. Here's where the argument happened. With her scholarships, my daughter will have more than enough for undergraduate school and likely her graduate work as well, assuming she maintains her traditionally good grades. In fact, she'll likely have a good bit left over. Fine, I say, she can use it for a down payment on a home, whatever. After scholarships, and the $15,000 from his dad, my stepson will still owe for undergrad. My husband feels like we should just combine the funds. When we married, we very specifically kept certain things separate, and this was one of them. So I can't help but feel unwilling to just scrap that and mix things together now. It doesn't feel fair or right, but my husband thinks it's an idiot move not to give the kids the same thing. It's never been a problem when my stepson has had extras due to having another parent and household also contributing to his clothing, his car, his spending money, etc. But now suddenly we have to be even. And just to be clear, being even actually means giving my stepson even more of the money due to the fact that my daughter's scholarships are more comprehensive. The kids are close and I'm sure my stepson will realize there's a difference in university money. But if my husband wanted to change things, I feel like this should have been brought up sooner than this. Am I the idiot? Edit. Since it's been asked, my late husband was quite young when he passed, so there was nothing much to speak of in the way of an inheritance or life insurance. And yes, to reiterate, my husband and I did discuss this prior to marriage and agreed to keep the children's expenses as part of our separate accounts/finances. Now for a few comments before the update. Not the idiot. Aside from the fact he only wants to combine now because you have more money than him. Why can't/isn't his son's other parent contributing? Sucks for the sons, but this is literally what his dad wanted and you obliged. Comment 2. Not the idiot. It's not fair your daughter has more college money, huh? Well, it's also not fair that your stepson still has 2 living parents to help him. Your late husband can't do anything more for his daughter than he's already done. He won't be at her graduations. He won't be able to congratulate her on getting her first real job. He'll never get to walk her down the aisle. If she ever has kids of her own, he'll never have the chance to bounce a grandbaby on his knee, or tell his adult daughter how proud he is of the incredible young woman she's become. Money can't replace any of that, but if it makes the start of her young adult life a little easier, it's a small consolation. Now for the update. When I originally posted, my husband's reaction was still pretty gut, and since then we've had a few days to talk things through. As I suspected, my husband's problem was never the fact that he only has $15,000 in my stepson's fund, just that by comparison my daughter's graduation gift is so much larger. In my husband's mind, the money he would be handing to his son would be a graduation gift to be used towards college but also other things, and that if my stepson needed additional help in the way of loans or financing we would cross those individual bridges as they came. The way he looked at it, handing a kid a check for $15,000 is huge. He was just suddenly blown out of the water by how much my daughter's gift will look like next to it. Anyway, we'll not be pooling the accounts. We clarified that any tuition money we spend on the kids moving forward will come from our shared funds, and will go equally toward each kid. Basically, if we give our stepson $1,000, we'll also put that amount in my daughter's account. If we loan either of them money, that's up to them individually to arrange with us. We let the kids know that their accounts are different, and that a lot of the discrepancy in funds is due to the fact that all of my daughter's gifts from family and her other resources etc. have been pooled into her account already, whereas my stepson still has his mother and other extended family members gifting and contributing at the time of graduation and as he goes. That's obviously not fully the case, but it helps speak to how aggressively each of us biological parents invested and looked ahead. The kids know that this has long been the case, as my daughter's biological side of the family is quite small compared to my stepson's side of the family where there are 20 times as many relatives. The kids are all good. My husband and I are all good. No one will be drowning in college debt as some comments on the OP feared. We just needed to have a talk about things. Thanks again everyone for all the different perspectives. Comment 1. Wow. You are getting the shaft here and are being strongly armed into paying for half of your stepson's college after you already have saved enough to pay for your daughter's entire college years. You were the responsible parent and saved up for your daughter's future, and your husband was irresponsible and did not save up for his son. Now the husband wants to share the cost of tuition for both kids even though your daughter's college is 100% already paid for. You have been manipulated to end up paying for half of your stepson's college expenses from here going forward. How can you not see what the crap end of the deal your husband forced upon you? Even if your husband and you agreed to give evenly from here on out, just wait until your husband claims he can't afford to do that, and you and him will just end up contributing only to the stepson's account. Comment 2. It just sounds to me like you are still sacrificing giving to your daughter for the sake of your husband's feelings. Unless I am reading this wrong. Why can't you add whatever the heck you want to? Then another commenter said, I believe she's still giving her daughter all the money that's in her college fund. But in the future when they give money to the kids, it will be equal amounts because money will come from shared accounts. If you enjoyed today's video, you'll like these ones too. Thanks for watching and see you next time.